Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the University of Worcester Arena. Live with us on BBC Sport for this WL clash between the hometown Worcester Wolves and the visiting Loughborough Lightning. It's the final weekend of the WPL regular season as we head into the post-season, and these two teams that find themselves at opposite ends of the WPL table. Loughborough leading the league and winning the regular season with a 6-1 record, and Worcester with a reverse 1-6 record, propping up the other end of the table coming into today's encounter. It's no doubting the strength and depth of the Lightning roster. Coach George Bates with a formidable stable of volume scorers led by Dutch international Paralympic gold medalist Bo Kramer, pouring in 25.2 a game. Add to that the combined average of 29.9 haul per game of Team GB stars Lucy Robinson and the seemingly omnipresent Robin Love, to name but two. Clear to see why Loughborough have powered their way to the top of the league this season. Coach Bates, however, without both Kramer and Love for today's game, so perhaps expect a few rotational changes from Lightning this afternoon. Worcester Wolves finished their regular season on their home floor, and their hugely experienced coach Simon Fisher will be fully aware of the task that faces his team today. Worcester, a team that have made great strides forward this season in terms of solid performances, with some new experienced players coming in, and the team led by Paralympian and Team GB Sarah Hope, whom it will be her last game this afternoon here in Worcester. They're a roster really that on their day definitely have what it takes to get even the toughest game over the line, narrowly missing out on their second win just a couple of weeks ago, going down by 49-44. It was a 5-point thriller over in Cardiff against the Cardiff Met Archers, and Simon Fisher will certainly be keen to avoid that late fade down the stretch that cost them that precious W a couple of weeks ago. So can Worcester get the job done on their home floor this afternoon, or will Lightning strike once again with the spoils heading back on the team bus to Loughborough. Well, to help us make sense of what promises to be a great game this afternoon, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by someone who I think it's fair to say what he doesn't know about wheelchair basketball you could probably write on the back of a postage stamp. Joint head coach for the England 3-on-3 wheelchair teams at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, where he led both the men's and the women's teams to a bronze medal, and is currently head coach of the Rhine River Rhinos. I think I got that right, in Germany. It is, of course, the legendary Lucas Warburton. Lucas, welcome.
Thanks for having me. You're making me blush with that little introduction there.
Well, we've got to give you a build-up, right? You know. So
yeah, it's hopefully going to be a good game today, especially without Kramer and Love. Loughborough are going to be looking at which other players can provide some scoring outside of Robinson, missing those two really powerful threats.
Yeah, and that's a big factor for them. If you look at the points haul between those two players every game so far this season, you know, there's a hole in the offence there, right?
Yeah, of course, and both Kramer and Love bring a really strong perimeter game, where Robinson brings an inside game. So Loughborough are going to be looking for players like Blease and Martin to step up from that outside game and hopefully bring some scoring from the perimeter.
And Worcester, obviously, you know, only Amber Locklin out for Worcester this afternoon. Sarah Hope's last game, we've got to talk about Sarah. You know, it's not lost on everyone. Probably, I guess, one of the most experienced players in the game and a great leader for this Worcester team. But heading to retirement, and she'll sort of finish her playing career in a couple of weeks' time in Manchester.
Yeah, she's been a stalwart for this Worcester team in the last 2 years during these WPL seasons, and she's always the focal point of their offence. Even if she's not the one scoring, she's creating shots for her teammates and just being a good leader all round on and off the court. So obviously it's going to be a big miss, but everybody has to retire sometime, so I wish her the best after the playoffs.
And your thoughts generally about this afternoon's encounter? If you're with your coaching boots on and you're sat you know, in George Bates's position with two of your key threats out, what are you going to be thinking? Because I guess, you know, heading into the National Championships in 2 weeks' time up in Manchester, this is probably the time, if you're going to experiment with a few bits and pieces, you know, rotationally and otherwise, this is probably the time to do it.
Yeah, that's completely right. You've got to look at it and think. You look at the Cardiff Archers game where they were missing both Love and Kramer, and they really struggled to score the ball from the perimeter in that game. So now is a chance where you can give the remaining members of the squad outside of Love and Kramer a chance to sort of show what they can do, really, because they've not had that chance yet playing sort of second string to both Kramer and Love. So this is a chance for them to really show what they can do.
Well, it's been, as I say, last game of the regular season, and I got a chance to chat to both coaches prior to the game to get their thoughts on this afternoon's encounter and what they're expecting in the post-season. Simon Fisher, we've spoken many times about the importance of being on your home floor. Last home game of the season, regular season game, and here you are in your own house. It's an important factor today, isn't it?
Yeah, and also we like getting home. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a fantastic place to play. The girls train here all the time, so really playing on your home floor should give you a little bit more confidence. We played well the last two times. Obviously, we got a win. Got close last time, so it's an opportunity to play, you know, the champions-elect on our own floor and finish the season in a positive way before we go to the playoffs and try and secure that third place thereafter.
And they've got a couple of players out today. Bo is out, and as is Robin Love. How are you sort of thinking about that coming into today's game?
Well, it doesn't really change too much in the sense of, you know, we concentrate on what we can do and how we play, and therefore our performance, you know, I always look at our performance of how we play, not how the opposition plays. What it will change a little bit is probably a bit of the mindset going in terms of some of the players. When you're dealing with Bo Kramer, who's, you know, possibly one of the best players in the world right now, and Robbie Lum's probably not too far behind. Certainly, you know, one of the dominant players in this league. So when they're not lining up against them, I'm sure that will just naturally give the players. But my message to the players is, you know, let's concentrate on our performance, how we play, and let's see whether we can end the season on the right note.
And your reflections on the season this year, it's been, you know, you brought a lot of young players through last year, and, you know, there's been a solid progression in performances at Worcester, and it seems to be something that's just on an improving trajectory.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, sometimes, you know, we can look at results, you know, double wins and losses, and, you know, in the moment we're the same as last season, one win. Hopefully get a second today, but I think more important for us is getting players starting to come through the pathway and you know, competing to be involved in GB squads. We've been more competitive competitive in games this year. We still like to get our scoring percentage up a little bit and score a few more points, but we're providing those opportunities. So I think there has progression, maybe not so much on the outside of things, but certainly on the internal we're moving in the right direction, and the programme, and I think the league is moving forward as well. I mean, when you've got people like Bo Cramer coming across, the standard of the league is high, so we've had to adjust with that, and there's been some really good teams and really some competitive games, and we hope for another one today really.
And I guess one thing we need to mention is Sarah Hope, whose last home game for her here at Worcester. It's going to be quite an emotional day for her, isn't it?
Emotional day for her, emotional day for the rest of us. I mean, Sarah, when we set the programme up, was one of the players we built it round. She's a local girl, just up the road, so I know it'll be emotional, but I think it's emotional for all of us because hopefully she'll still be around and she still wants to contribute to the programme, but won't be playing. End of a great career for us. I think she's most importantly just a good person, and I'm privileged to having coached her, and I wish her well, but she's got this game and then one more to play, and I know that she'll be setting the standards for everyone else, and that's pretty much the Sarah Hope that has led us, and a great captain, and forever go down in history as the first Wolves WPL captain, and credit to her for her performances over that time.
Thanks, Simon, and best of luck today.
Thank you.
George Bates, great to see you again. George, first of all, congratulations. You won the regular season. It's 1 point in it at this stage, obviously going into this afternoon's game. What have reflections been on the season so far?
I think for us we've made real progress. We've recruited some younger players, some new players to the team, and although the first season we went undefeated, we obviously lost one game this year. I think the way that we've played basketball and the kind of resilience the younger players and us as a team have showed really shows that we've kind of developed a lot over the course of the year. I'm really looking forward to taking it into this game and then the playoffs next week.
And I guess it's an interesting one, isn't it, this one, because obviously in a way I guess it's a chance for coaches to test out maybe what they might want to do come national finals time. We're going to meet Phoenix, which is always going to be a stiff test no matter what. Have you got some stuff that you might be experimenting with, thinking about different rotations today?
Yeah, I think the style of play and the units that we use are all pretty solid. I think it's more a case of this is a real opportunity for the girls to go out there and earn some minutes in the final, right? Like there's last chance that I get to see them all in a game like scenario, and that final's coming up quickly, so it's their last opportunity to go out there and show me they can play that I would like them to play, and that they can play, and make me have some tough decisions in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, I guess you've got one decision today, which is when you put the paracetamol. You've got Bo Cramer and Robin Love both out. That's a factor, right? I mean, that's a big factor for you today.
Yeah, they're two phenomenal players, international players, medalists in Worlds and Paralympics. So it's always tough to lose players like that. But to me, I see it as a great opportunity for the other girls. They can really step up and become leaders on the floor without having the kind of, I guess, comfort in a sense that Robin and Bo bring, and that's one of their skills as athletes. The other girls have got to go out there and they are more than capable of showing Worcester how good they are, and it's up to them today to go out there and do that. And
your thoughts on the league more broadly? Obviously the WPL has gone from strength to strength this year. How do you see the future?
I think I'm hoping it's going to continue to grow. I think it's a great opportunity for girls to play the sport in this country, and especially at a higher level. And if we want to be successful as a nation, this is a kind of key pillar in that strategy, because it's creating opportunity for girls to play against girls week in, week out, and that wasn't there before, and that's only going to improve the level of the sport.
Well, thanks for speaking to us, and great best of luck today.
Thank you.
Well, thoughts of both coaches there, and George Bates, Loughborough. I guess the point he was making there, Lucas, about experimentation today. The last time we'll see them in a competitive environment before come finals time in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks' time, they're going to be looking for those matchups.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you want when you come playoff time. You want all 12 of your players in a position where they can step up when it matters and give your team those vital minutes and put some performance when it matters. And like you said in the interview, that you don't have that luxury of being able to fall back on Cramer, who's a Paralympian, Love, who's a Paralympian. You have to be able to show up when it matters, and if it gets tight, you're going to have to see what they're made of a little bit and see if they can pull it out of close one.
Well, a pretty full roster for Worcester this afternoon. Amber Lachlan, however, is out for Worcester. So Simon Fisher, with obviously the exception of Amber, with everything to deploy, and I guess that's the position they want to be in on their home floor, last home game of the season. But if we take a look at the Loughborough lineup, as we've spoken about it all the way through, Loughborough with those two key players missing, and that's really the standout for them. this afternoon. As you say, it's time for experimentation. They've won the regular season. Their eyes are now going to be over the horizon on finals weekend in 2 weeks' time. And incidentally, if you want tickets for finals weekend, they are now on sale. So if you go to the British Wheelchair Basketball website, they'll be at the Basketball National Performance Centre in Manchester. So that's where you can get your hands on tickets for that. And it's a great weekend, isn't it? I mean, it's not just obviously the WPL, but it's a festival of wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, it's an amazing weekend, no matter where it is in the country. It's an amazing weekend. You have basically the top two teams from every division in the country. You have Premier Division, we have the Women's Premier League, and every lower division in the Great British basketball, wheelchair basketball. So that's the sort of weekend that our sport loves, and that really is the showcase for our sport that doesn't get enough attention, really.
Well, we'll try and sort that out here this afternoon between us.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, final warm-up done. Both teams introduced to the spectators here in Worcester. And a quick run down the starters for Worcester this afternoon. Kyla Bell, Jade Loughlin, Hope Fraser and Kayla English will be starting today for Worcester. It's Griffiths, Anna Blees, Lucy Robinson, Lizzie Spires and Maddie Martin starting this afternoon for Loughborough. Martin getting that start. One of the most promising players that we've seen in quite a long time in women's basketball, women's wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, she really is. She's got a lot of potential. She can shoot the ball from the outside. She's really mobile. She's quick. She's smart. She's a really good playmaker. It's just about putting that all together when it really matters. And a game like this is a perfect chance to sort of get that first game under her belt at the highest level, and she can really show what she's worth. She can come up today and have a great performance. There's no better headache to have as a head coach than unsure which of your two great players you start. So that's a good position. That'd be a good position for Coach Bates to be in.
JJ made the point last week. You know, Maddie, she's kind of got all of the elements, and it's just that little bit of confidence now building. She's a very young player, obviously, and it's, you know, when you get the look at the bucket, take the shot. Sometimes that hesitation is what prevents you from scoring.
Yeah, that little bit of second guessing that you can have. That little bit of second guessing that you can have is where it really makes, do I shoot, do I pass? You're thinking about all the things the coach has said, you think about everything like that, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, and then before you know it, the chance is gone, you shoot it anyway, and then you shoot from centre stroke. So it's just that little bit of self-confidence that a lot of young players sometimes struggle with, especially in big games or giving up to bigger players. You don't want to be doing that, so as long as she can have that self-belief and let the ball fly, then she's going to be in a good position.
Well, any of us who played the game will know the first thing the coach says to you, miss 100% of the shots you never take.
That old cliche, yeah. In my defence, I've never said that in my life.
Really? Look me in the eyes.
Never, trust me.
So, well, we're about to jump it up here in Worcester. It's time to get things underway, and Sarah Hope is heading for the circle. It'll be Sarah Hope and Lucy Robinson who get us underway here. So, as we said, Sarah, big emotional day for her. She's decided to pull the shutters down on her playing career, and this will be the last home game here in Worcester for Sarah. She's been such an architect of this programme in the WPL and a really important figure in the league more generally. So we are underway, and immediately on a bounce ball. So
we have a broken strap, I think, from Lucy Robinson. She's trying to fix it at the minute.
But yeah, fast start wanted here from Worcester. We were talking, I was chatting to Simon Fisher actually before the game about the job they need to get done at the defensive end today. There's so much weaponry in terms of volume scorers for Loughborough.
Yeah, they've been a team that all season, Worcester Wolves have prided themselves in the defence, and that's never needed more than playing against such a tough Loughborough Lightning team.
So Griffiths. So there is Maddie Martin. Touch of the game for her. Anna Blees opens up the account for Loughborough.
Yeah, that's a really good start for Loughborough Lightning. That's the shots they need coming from both Blees and Martin on those wings. They're bringing the main perimeter threat for this game, so they need to be knocking those shots down early.
Loughlin at the top. Looking to find the space. Fraser sets the screen for the space, and Loughlin nails the first point for Worcester.
And yeah, that's in response to that quick start you mentioned that Coach Fisher wanted. You've got to hit those shots early, otherwise the game can be done before it's even got going.
Yeah, Worcester can't afford to be static in offence, that is for sure. It's going to be a case of constant motion for them this afternoon. as much a test of stamina as anything else.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's all right hitting shots for spells, and basketball is a game of runs, but to be able to do it when it matters, just as they're going to run, you need to hit a few shots of your own just to sort of slow that rot a little bit.
So, Sarah Hope for Worcester. Good position. Just back iron rolls over the top.
Yeah, that's not usually a bad look for Sarah Hope, but it doesn't fall this time, unfortunately.
Martin weaves away to the bucket. Martin fouled on the way in, and she is going to go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, it's a lovely move in transition. She saw she had the beating of Belt there and drove all the way to the basket aggressively. Sometimes young players can get a little bit scared of contact in those moments, so it's good to see her drive to the basket.
Yeah, she's a player with really great agility.
Yeah, she uses those little pivots through tight spaces and through traffic really well.
So Maddie Martin on the line strings the first of those two. We're going to want to build a cushion. The two leading scorers out this afternoon, so if they can get a bit of fresh air between themselves and Wolves early in this game.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking to start fast and sort of put this game to bed early, and Worcester's focus has got to be just to stay in that touching distance and minimise it early on, and then as the game goes on, the longer it's close, then the longer they're going to chance.
Fraser gets a pocket pick down to Robinson. Spears to Martin. Martin now in the mid-court. Anna Blees, good work from Bell in the corner. Tough shot, deep in the shot clock.
That was good patience offense from Loughborough. It was a good defensive possession from the Wolves, but as the saying goes, defence doesn't stop until you get the defensive rebound, and they couldn't secure it that time.
Absolutely, that was one of the features this year in Worcester, struggling to convert in transition in some of the games, particularly the last time out against Loughborough. Such an important element of the game. A stop's a stop, but you've got to convert. Please. Great pass inside to Martin, high off the glass.
Yeah, it was a lovely one-on-one move off the ball from Manny Martin. Good job staying active without the ball, and then that's a great vision from Blees to fire that pass in there for the layup.
Bell to Lachlan. Jade Lachlan over the top of English. Gets a good look at the basket, too much on it.
Yeah, that was good confidence that she just hit one from a similar spot, so I don't mind her letting that shot fly when there's no jump on from the defence.
Martin to Blees. Lucy Robinson, she's got a good look at the bucket. Robinson with a kiss off the window. Bank is open for Loughborough.
Yeah, Lucy Robinson doing what she's done for the last 2 years in this Women's Premier League. She's one of the strongest post players that we have in this country, and she's just showing it there. She can dominate spells of games, and she's just done it there.
Lachlan. Bell to Hope. Hope shoots over the top of three defenders, no basket. That's not going to count.
I am not sure I agree with that call. That basket's got to be good. The chair contact has the shot. That's got to be an and one there. Maybe that's just me as watching it as a basketball fan.
What, the coach, you mean?
Yeah, if that was me, I would be very unhappy.
I could have visions of you doing your fruit on the sideline.
A little bit of a plead there with the ref.
Go inside to Fraser. Fraser with a good look at the basket again. Can't go. Worcester only with 2 points on the board.
Yeah, Loughborough have a lot of good size, so trying to force the ball inside against them maybe isn't the best chance unless you've got a good mismatch with Hope.
Please, Morrison. Good work to keep that alive, but it's picked up by Jade Lachlan. Lachlan now switches on the afterburners into the front court. Lachlan. A little bit high on the pass inside to Fraser. She recovers. Fraser can't finish.
Yeah, a couple of early turnovers from Loughborough, and Worcester haven't been able to make it count. So they're going to need to start converting these turnovers into buckets if they want to stay in this game.
He fumbles the ball in transition, but it was a good transition pick up from Loughborough this time. Bell, high off the glass, gives the scoreboard operator something to do.
Yeah, that's a lovely cross-picking transition there from Kayla Bell. You always try and tell players, if you pick in transition, you will be the one to get that layup, and that's really proved prove the case there with Kayla Bell.
Griffiths inside to Lucy Robinson, who just rolls it in. Furious pace to this first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a great steal again there from Maddie Martin to get Lucy Robinson a good look inside the key. And this is the sort of level we want from wheelchair basketball in this country. Get up and down the floor quickly and some good scoring early on.
Link for Worcester at the elbow. Cross court to Fraser. And she's there. Just rimmed out.
Yeah, there's been a few tough rolls so far from Worcester Wolves. Ones that have sort of deserved to drop, but they haven't quite gone, and that's sort of the reason for this 5-point gap so far.
Lightning in transition. Blees inside to Martin. Good hands from Sarah Hope just to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great deflection there, using her size to get that hand in the passing lane. Gives a chance to get set plus a 5, and only 12 seconds left on the shot clock now, so this is a good chance for the Wolves to play some tough defence for the next 12.
Blees on the inbounds for Loughborough. 4:59 to play in the first quarter. Lucy Robinson. Need a big game from her this afternoon. Robinson. Griffith sets a screen. Robinson over the top, no good. Into the hands of Fraser off the ironwork. So Wolves in transition now.
Yeah, that's a good defence possession there from the Wolves. You've got to keep Lucy Robinson above the elbow because she's so clinical when she's anywhere around that 45 mark.
Sarah Hope, another good look at the bucket. Too short on that shot. Reese comes up with it.
Yeah, I feel like the Wolves need a little bit of just ball movement in their offence just to get the defence moving and create some good chances.
Anna Blees threads a needle into Robinson. Robinson again off the window. She's not going to miss from there.
Yeah, there's that Lucy Robinson 45 shot that I was just talking about. As soon as she gets anywhere near the block, you have to expect it's going to be going in. So they've got to keep her away from that block and keep her as extended as possible.
Hope fouled on the shot. Sarah Hope going to the line.
Yeah, I feel like they've missed a few shots early on, the Wolves, so they need to be a little bit more aggressive, try and draw some fouls, get into team fouls and get some easy ones while the clock stopped from the free throw line.
Well, timeout called by Simon Fisher. Wants to talk it over.
Yeah, they've actually got some semi-decent looks, but if your shooting percentage is just low on this day and you're struggling to knock some shots down, you can't settle for the half-decent looks. You need to generate some offence in a different way by attacking the paint in transition, drawing fouls, getting some free throw shots, and eventually that's when that confidence gets up and you can start settling for those mid-range shots a bit more.
Yeah, well, Lucy Robinson, 6 of those 11 points from the hot hand of Lucy Robinson. Like you said, she's got that spot on the floor, and if you don't do a job in that position, it's going to be a tough day at the office potentially.
Yeah, especially without Love and Kramer, she's going to be the focal point of the offence. Every shot they're going to be looking to do is either a nice little shot from Martin or Blees, or they're going to be looking to get Robinson inside. And she started off really well, 6 points on her own. She's already outscoring the Worcester Wolves on their own.
Well, they'll be channeling the play into Lucy Robinson for sure, but I guess a bit like last week, as we saw with London, Maddie Martin, an opportunity maybe to take those shots that she wouldn't get the chance to take in a game like this with two of the key shooters out.
Yeah, and that's the thing, she has to make sure she's in that mindset of she is this key shooter in this game. She needs to get out of the mindset of that, I would give up to somebody else but because Love and Kramer here, so she's good enough in her own right to be a dominant player and score some points, and she just needs to be a little bit more demanding sometimes.
Well, she's hit 3, couple from the line so far, one from the line so far in the game, but meantime Sarah Hope on the line for Worcester, so takes the first of the 2 foul shots, strikes the first of those 2. 4:01 to play in the quarter. A couple of team fouls on either side of the scoreboard. Hope doesn't make the second, it's out of bounds, so it'll be a Loughborough ball from the end line. Lucy Robinson on the inbounds.
Lightning were using that free throw line, it was a good chance to set up a press to get some back picks, but they Wolves managed to pick back, and now Robinson's out in transition.
Lucy Robinson. Here it is again.
Yeah, anywhere in around that key, and she's almost a guaranteed bucket, so they need to be a little bit tougher on defence. It's forced outside shot. Even if you're forcing the ball into the hands of Blees or Strange and Spears, you have to force somebody else to score the ball.
Point ball game, make that 6.
Yeah, that's a crucial shot there. So Lockley missed the second one. You need to get some offence going from the perimeter, and because that'll create some nice inside looks if they can hit some shots.
Inside to Martin, back out to Blees from the free throw line. Blees too much on it. There's Martin. Good work off the ball from Matty Martin to read that rebound.
Yeah, long shots equal long rebounds, and that one fell right into the hands of Matty Martin.
Griffiths heaves it over to Lucy Robinson. It's picked off, however, by Sarah Hope. Now Sarah Hope switches on the afterburners for Worcester. Martin making it really hard work for a good pass inside to Fraser.
Yeah, that was a great job defensively by Worcester to make that catch for Robinson. So difficult, she ended up fading away and losing the ball. And then from that turnover, they got a nice seal in by Loughlin to get Ellen Fraser a good shot.
4-point ball game, 2:36 to play in the first quarter, inside to Griffiths. And
3-second violation there called on Griffiths. That's again another good defensive possession there from the Wolves. They've got to force the ball into the hands of the other players and make them score. And if I was a coach, I'd be saying, we've got to make players outside of Robinson and Martin beat us. If they score 20 each outside of them two, and they still beat us, fair enough. But those two can't be the ones to score.
Well, subs for Kat Ewan. He's checked in, as has Niamh Horan. Horan joining Worcester this season. Sarah Hope. Cross court to Horan. Horan strings it.
Yeah, Horan's been one of the best scorers in this league, never mind for Worcester Wolves this season, so she's going to be really important if Wolves are to be in and around this game come the last couple of minutes.
Well, it's a one-shot ball game right now. They go inside to Anna Blees. Blees puts it up, doesn't go here, and gets it off the ironwork. Great hands from Lucy Robinson.
Yeah, those are the chances you really need to make the most of if you're Worcester Wolves. You've got to stop, you're forced to miss, and you can't afford to turn the ball over, especially right under your own basket.
All eyes on the ball, and there was Lucy Robinson sat out, ready to collect the pass if it came.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's always looking for that ball. She's always basket hungry.
So that puts Anna Blees on the line. It's a 2-point ball game. Make that 3 with 1:58 to play in the first quarter. Third team foul on the board for Worcester. Anna Blees to make the second. Lucy Robinson turns it into 3 points.
Yeah, that's the one. Those are the coach killers, those ones. Where they've missed a free throw and you can't secure that box out and you're giving up, instead of you're basically giving up 3 points there.
What you couldn't see at home was Lucas with his head in his hands.
Yeah, I wasn't going to admit to that.
We're here to paint the picture, right? Fraser.
Yeah, that's good confidence there from Ellen Fraser. She's just hit that little shot on the opposite baseline, so why not go off and shoot the next one straight away without hesitation?
4 points for Fraser in the game. So far, Griffiths. To Anna Blees. Blees sets up for the shot. Good look at the bucket, can't get it to go.
Yeah, that's good confidence that. She's just hit one of the free throws. If she's feeling it, why not let it fly? You need your players to be confident.
Niamh Horan, she's in a great deal of space there, Niamh Horan. Just got nerfed by Blees on the shot.
Yeah, it seemed like there's a little bit of indecision there as Hope attacked the basket. It was unsure whether she was going to take it on her own or find the inside look.
Robinson lost the ball. And, it's going to be a sideline possession, so it'll be Niamh Horan on the inbounds for Worcester.
Yeah, that's 6 turnovers already in the first quarter by Loughborough Lightning. Those are stats that do not look good when you're looking at this in a close game. George Bates will be signing a breath of relief that they're in the lead of this game.
Sarah Hope. Here comes Blees again. Great turn of pace from Lightning now. And the Blees to Griffiths. They go into Maddie Martin. This time Martin Hope. Great shot, beautiful finish from Maddie Martin.
Yeah, that was great patience on offence from the Loughborough Lightning. They didn't take a shot too early. They were steady, waiting to see if the defence committed. They didn't, and Maddie Martin had the confidence to knock that shot down.
5 seconds left in the quarter. Worcester, their last offence of the quarter. Kyla Bell, I don't think she got that away in time. But either way, it's finished. At the end of the first quarter, Loughborough Lightning 18, Worcester Wolves 13. Well, that felt like it went past in the blinking of an eye, that first quarter.
Yeah, it really did. There wasn't many whistles. It was nice high tempo, which is what you want from the first quarter of a game that can be close. You don't want it to be stop-start because doesn't allow these players, these talented players, to get into a rhythm at all. So the fact it flew is a good sign for the rest of the game.
5-point game, I guess Simon Fisher will be pretty happy with that.
It will be, if you took before the game, he would be. But you look at the way the game's gone, it could definitely be in a better position than it has been. 5 points, but Loughborough have got 6 turnovers. So if you could have made better on some of those turnovers, they'd be in a really good position.
10 points from Lucy Robinson in that first quarter. And that's exactly, I guess it just bears out precisely what you said. She is the channel for them this afternoon.
Yeah, she manages to score so well when Love and Kramer, and because they draw so much attention, and she's just so efficient when she gets that ball. So the fact she has that focal point and she's still able to score 10 points in 1 quarter shows that she can really get the shots from wherever she wants them.
Yeah, she's provided that kind of triangulation between herself, Robin Love, and Bo Kramer, particularly Robinson and Love. Is a real link up between those two guys. You know, she's having to fill both roles this afternoon.
Yeah, and like last season, they had such a good relationship together, playing together, Love and Robinson. So having to do it on her own and play that little bit of that calm head, and one of the more experienced members of this team, is a different responsibility. But so far, she's doing it really well.
Well, Worcester 6 from 14 from the floor so far this afternoon, 8 from 13. That's 61%, place 42 in terms of field goal percentage, and that's something that Simon Fisher's going to want to tighten up on.
Yeah, and I know I keep horning on about these turnovers, but 6 turnovers and 0 fast break points for the Worcester Wolves. That's a lot of chances available, and if they can just make the most of that, then they're going to be in really good position in this game.
So it has been a pacey opening here in Worcester. Final WPL game of the regular season. 2 weeks' time we head to Manchester for the national finals, and Worcester with this final game on their home floor, the last game for Sarah Hope, as we said. So they're going to want to get a job done in front of the supporters who are here this afternoon. Lachlan, Neve Horan, long way off with that one.
Yeah, that was a good offensive possession, just not managed to knock the shot down at the end of the nice little bit of more movement there from the Wolves.
Griffiths to Robinson. It was a good look. Sarah Hope has it.
Yeah, again, as soon as she looks to score out to the basket, Wolves have to try and push her off that block a little bit and make that little tough fadeaway like they did there.
Worcester pushing the floor and threaded inside to Neve Horan once again. Can't get it to go.
Yeah, 2 good looks to start the second quarter, and that could be a 1-point game if they've managed to knock these 2 shots down. So Wolves are getting the shots they make, and they're playing some good defence at the other end. They just need to start knocking these shots down.
As you say, you get that transition on the fast break if you're not converting. It's so painful to add up those numbers, isn't it? I guess if you're the coach on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you look at that, and that's the difference maker in the result. There's nothing else. They're not that much better than you in other ways, but the scoreline doesn't paint a true reflection just because of those missed shots.
So Neve Horan picks up her first foul of the game. It's going to be an end line possession. Fitzpatrick has checked in, as has White for Loughborough. So Siobhan's Fitzpatrick on the inbounds. White, yeah, and doing a great job. They get the ball into Fitzpatrick, and a foul on the floor on Jade Lachlan. 2 early fouls from Worcester in the second quarter.
Yeah, she got a little bit eager with the foot plates there. Instead of just playing some good chair defence, she's started to reach for the ball, and those foot plates bumping into her just enough for a foul called.
So Siobhan Fitzpatrick inbounds for Loughborough. White. Better from Worcester, good defence, muscular defence. They get it out to find an additional 2.
Yeah, that's one of those where, as a coach, there's not much more you can do. You're happy with the defensive possession, you're forced on a tough contested fadeaway, but Robinson still manages to knock it down anyway.
I was just about to say, that was a tough shot from Robinson. Reaching in on defence, Lucy Robinson doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, she's bringing that leadership at both ends of the floor to start this second quarter.
Lachlan can't get it to go. And 7 points the difference. Wolves have pulled it back to within 2.
Yeah, they managed to get some good stops to start this quarter. They just need to convert on the other end, and then this game is within touching distance.
Yeah, long way to go. Let's not forget Jade Loughlin. Too much on that one. Siobhan Fitzpatrick is there to collect it. So here come Loughborough again. Maddie Martin zips it inside to Robinson. Now Martin at the top in acres of space. Too long, back iron. Yeren has it to Hope.
Yeah, again, another good look there from Loughborough Lightning, but they're not able to knock it down from the free-throw line.
Open space. Another good board from Fitzpatrick. Doing a good job on the defensive rebounds. Griffiths. Back to Griffiths inside, no good. Loughlin collects it, Hope.
Yeah, again, from the Worcester Wolves perspective, you've got to get the ball out of the hands of Lucy Robinson, and they've managed to do that so far, and that's why this game is still in touching distance.
Loughlin high off the glass. Doesn't go. Worcester again converting in transition. But here come Lightning. Robinson just threading her way through the defense. Dumps it off to Martin. Well,
no basket, offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
I like that call.
You do like that call?
I do, yeah. Her back
Okay.
wheels came up, she was out of control, defense had good possession, and she threw it up using the defender's chair to stop her. I think that's a good offensive foul call for me. Well,
Loughlin checks out for Fraser, and Lucas liked something the referee did. We'll go with that. We'll bank that one.
I'm not all negative about referees. If it's a good call, I will give them the props.
So, Horan leading the charge for Wolves, finds his way inside, draws the foul. That was a smart bit of play.
Yeah, Horan knew she had the back wheel of Strange exposed, attacked it hard, drew that backing foul, and on the shot.
Smart play, smart IQ from Horan. Gets her on the line, 7-point ball game. They seem to have been stuck at 7 points for the last 3 minutes. Niamh Horan unable to convert with the first of those 2. So 1 to come for Niamh Horan. Strings the second. Within 6 subs. Again, Griffiths taking a breather. The experienced Lindsay Spires captain today for Loughborough Lightning. Martin. Robinson to Martin. Beautiful 1-2 play inside. Maddie Martin with a great finish.
Yeah, that's the sort of presence and threat that Lucy Robinson brings. Just by her getting the ball, caused defence's head to turn. Left Martin wide open to drive to the basket, and then she was able to draw the foul with a lovely little scoop finish as well.
So Martin on the line, and very tough. Hope is checking out. Ilana Brand in for Worcester. Yeah, and a tough place to score from. It's one of the characteristics of the wheelchair game. When you're right under the rim, it is a real tough place to put the ball in from.
Yeah, and everybody, basketball, you just have to jump and you're away from under the basket. Yeah. But getting that lovely little spin and those little reverse finishes is something that a lot of players work on in training, and getting that because they're important points that can come across.
Horan once again muscles her way inside. Brian managed to collect it. Second chance opportunity, not dropping for Worcester.
Yeah, and slowly but surely the Worcester Wolves shooting percentage is going down every missed shot, and they just need to start stopping that rot.
There's a great take mid-court from Maddie Martin. She got it inside to find Robinson. Fitzpatrick. Cross court to Robinson, off the window once again.
Yeah, Robinson was not throwing away that shot of that second chance opportunity there. She missed the first one, but they got the offensive rebound, patient offense, and she was always going to knock it down.
Horan in the corner, Brand setting a screen. And
Yeah, those are the types of looks that really suit Niamh Horan's game. She's not so big, especially as a three-point player. She isn't huge, so a lot more preferred to play on the perimeter.
Martin showing the agility that she's got at the top of the key, gets it down to Fitzpatrick.
That's another good defensive possession there from Worcester. You just need to get some shots dropping.
So here come Wolves once again in transition. What can they do from here? Niamh Horan. Yaren at the top. White read that really well. We'll go back to Niamh Horan this time. Too much on it. Robinson collects it off the ironwork. Robinson this time just held up, dumps it off to Maddie Martin. Martin too much on that.
Yeah, again Robinson drawing that double team by stopping in the middle of the key, but Maddie Martin couldn't finish the layup.
8-point ball game. Horan gets herself in a good position. Under the bucket, second chance.
Yeah, I think she wanted to foul on that first one, that's why she chucked it up without any composure, but she managed to grab the rebound and knock the second one down.
Robinson to Martin. Good link-up play developing between these two this afternoon. Back into Robinson. Robinson off the window. This time doesn't go.
Yeah, but Worcester dodged a bullet there with that one. They need to either switch on that and get a bit of size on Robinson, or they need to keep her extending further away from the key wherever possible.
Robinson loving the use of the backboard, characteristic of her game. This time it's Fitzpatrick in the open floor. Collects it. Horan was there just to make sure that it wasn't going to be as easy as she thought. Then out to Maddie Martin. This time Maddie Martin, no problems with shoot confidence there.
Yeah, that's great. She's hit a couple of shots to start, and now she knows she's in a bit of a rhythm. On those catch and shoot, she's knocked it down.
So Martin picks up the foul. So second foul of the game for Maddie Martin. And subs coming. I think it's going to be so timeout called. So once again, Simon Fisher maybe just seeing something he doesn't like.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job for the most part defensively, but sometimes they're switching off a little bit and allowing Robinson to get into around that 45-degree angle. And on the other end, they just need to create some good, easy looks to start with. Like, we've got Niamh Horan under the key and she made that layup. They just need to be a bit more patient, get that ball moving, and they'll be able to create some good looks and get themselves back in this game.
Well, Lucy Robinson, 14 points so far in the game, and I think it's fair to say probably, I don't know, more than half of those have been carbon copies off the window.
Yeah, those shots that she loves, and then just obviously hit a couple of tough ones with that really tough fadeaway baseline.
Which we're just seeing there, yeah.
And when she hits shots over good defence, there's not much more you can do. And she's shooting 63% from the field, and 7 from 11, that's sort of the difference maker in this game. If she has a bit of an off game, then maybe this one's not 8 points, maybe it's 3 or 4.
Yeah. What we saw there. Niamh Horan also stamping something on the game. 7 points for her so far in the game. With Lucy Robinson leads all scorers. Maddie Martin with 9.
Yeah, she's really been bringing that perimeter scoring that we talked about beforehand, that without Love and Kramer, they needed it from somewhere else, and Martin was the one we were looking at, and she's delivered so far.
So Lucy Robinson, 5 boards off a double-double so far in the game. So Kyla Bell goes cross court to Fraser, who nearly got her pocket picked. Bell, Horan puts up the shot.
Worcester are getting a lot of picks from that down that left side, and it means the person playing in the middle is open for that shot, but if you can find it a little bit more, then maybe the points start dropping.
Blees once again to Robinson, 3 defenders there. Make life difficult. Anna Blees, triple team down low, can't get it to go.
Yeah, again, dodging a bullet there, Worcester Wolves, not box it out, but Blees couldn't finish the shot inside the key.
Yeah, that bullet's a collector's piece for sure. And Blees is down. So Blees back up again, and it's going to be Niamh Horan on the inbounds ball. Simon Fisher pacing his area. Simon Fisher sensing it could be done today.
Again, that cover came from the middle. It left Kayla Bell open, but Wolves are struggling to find her so far in this game.
Robinson. White in the middle, and the straps come asunder there for Niamh Horan. So
we also had a couple of chairs tangled up here in front of us between English and Robinson.
It's all going off.
That's the joys of playing a sport that requires such complicated equipment.
It's all going off at once here. Subs coming now for Worcester. Sarah Hope and Jade Loughlin back in. Alana Brand and Niamh Horan, both doing a great job.
I feel like I know what player they're going to run here from this sideline. White and Robinson are going to split, look to occupy big and let Robinson go one-to-one. Good defensive possession there from Wolves.
Get into Robinson. Robinson dumps it off to White inside. Beautiful finish.
Yeah, that's about as much as you can ask for there from Wolves. If Hope doesn't cover up there, then Robinson gets again a mismatched shot, and that's the one she's been hitting all game. But White does a really good job to finish under a bit of pressure from Hope.
It's lead of the game for Lightning, 10 points. Loughlin down on that shot.
Yeah, that's another good call there from the referees on that charge. Yep. Loughlin a little bit out of control, into the traffic. The defence was already set. Back wheels come up, and that's a turnover.
So Wolves, 4 team fouls in the quarter. 1:47 to play in the second quarter. It's a 10-point game. Loughborough creating that fresh air between themselves and the home side here in Worcester. Robinson. White, beautiful finish from her off the window.
Yeah, White's just hit 2 almost copy and paste shots in the sense that the double team has gone to Robinson. She's dumped it off to White on the drive for the layup.
Hope at the elbow, puts it into English, back to Hope in space, just too much on the shot.
Yeah, Bell made a nice little seal there for Hope, a nice little curl, but it wasn't followed as she wanted the edge of the key shot, and the basket couldn't go up.
Come off the chair of Robinson, so
this game feels like a little bit, if it stays above 10 points going into half-time, it could be out of reach.
Could be hard work.
Yeah, Wolves sort of are going to be looking to get it to around 8 or 6 if they can going into half-time into this last minute.
Well, 1 minute and 2 seconds remain in the second quarter. Wolves carrying 4 team fouls into that, so Sarah Hope just lets the ball run a little bit, got a couple of extra seconds before the start of the shot clock. Sarah Hope now at the elbow, just too short, can't collect the rebound.
Yeah, maybe just needs a little bit more patience there from the Worcester Wolves offense to create some good looks and get some easy shots dropping.
Time off the bottom of the rim, and 36.2 seconds off the inbounds.
Yeah, there's maybe a little bit too little time to get a 2 for 1. Otherwise, you're settling for a bad shot, so they just need to be patient and create and make sure they get an easy shot that they can knock down.
19 on the shot clock, Worcester. As you say, be patient, use as much of that time as possible. Fraser to Hope. And too high on the pass, so...
yeah, I think that was a little bit of a misunderstanding there between the two, as Hope thought Dowdeswell was going to stay out and on the perimeter.
Blees inside to Robinson. Robinson, good defence from Hope, but Hales has it, finds the 2 points.
Again there, as soon as they double team Lucy Robinson, there's just another player open to drive in to secure that rebound.
And with that, it's a 14-point difference at the end of the second quarter. Loughborough Lightning 32, Worcester Wolves 18. What's your wrap up on that first half, Lucas?
There's actually been some decent defensive possession, from the Worcester Wolves. They've forced some tough shots at times. They've made, especially in that second quarter, they've managed to get the ball out of the hands of Robinson. But it's just the shooting percentage on the other end. 26% is going to struggle to win you a lot of games. Never mind against a team that are already crowned regular season champions of this Women's Premier League.
Well, we see that. I guess in every area of the floor, I think one of the pickups obviously is we talked about, is the fact that Robinson is kind of the go-to. They're doing a great job, in all areas really, Loughborough right now.
Yeah, she's doing a good job defensively. She's grabbing a lot of rebounds. She's also pushing the ball in transition, getting some good looks, following seals, working well. So there's not really much she doesn't do on the floor at the minute. 7 rebounds and 3 assists is not much more you can ask for from one of your forwards. Yeah, usually that's guard numbers.
And you see there when Eve Horan's getting into a great position, just struggling to finish.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. They've had some good shots that they've not been able to knock down, but then there's also been times where they've rushed their offense, they're settling a little bit for shots that maybe when they're having a good shooting day, they're knocking down. And this is just one of those days at the office, a bad day at the office, so you have to try and do what you can to at least improve that shooting percentage.
And again, and you saw that very tough shot there for Lucy Robinson. 3 defenders fade away. It's a tough shot, but she manages to knock them down.
Yeah, she's adept to, as being a 4.5, she's adept to playing amongst other bigs and shooting over other bit of side players with size. So the fact that she's doing this in this game, no matter how tough the shot is not a massive surprise to me.
Well, Worcester 8 from 30 for the floor, plays 15 from 32 field goal percentage. It's a very, very tough stat for them. That's the story of the game, actually, right there.
Yeah, they've almost shot the identical number of shots. 32 to 30 is almost the same number of shots, but 7 makes less is a hill that's almost insurmountable if they don't make a swift change in this third quarter.
So if you're Coach Fisher in that locker room right now, what's the chat?
I think your first protocol is to try and get a pick back. At the minute, it doesn't matter as much who. Just to get in transition, play that 5 and 4 for a couple of seconds, attack the basket, get some layups, draw some fouls. Just give them a little bit of confidence that you can score against this team, because it's not that Loughborough are smothering them to death. It's just that they've struggled to knock some shots down, so they can get those easy shots to get the confidence going. That's when everything else will sort of fall into place. Yeah,
and it's doing a job on Robinson, isn't it? You said you've got to get a big on there and just try and neutralise to some degree that threat that she poses. Yeah,
they did a much better job of it in that second quarter. Shooting percentage dropped by almost 15 percentage points, so that's sort of the same trend they need to be focusing on. It's just about the other end now. Really, Loughborough scored 4 points less in that second quarter, but it's just only scoring 5 points in a quarter is going to be a very tough job to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 9 from turnovers from Loughborough, so they're capitalising in transition as well, which Worcester have been struggling to do pretty much this entire game.
That's the thing. Loughborough had 3 more turnovers, but Worcester haven't got any fast break points, and that's sort of between that and the second chance points, which is an 8+ for Loughborough Lightning. Then it's just the little things that add up, those little 1%ers that if it was only one of them was against them, then you think this is still a game they're in. But 2, 3, 4 stats that are just little bits adding against them, it becomes a tough job. Yeah, and I think you said, as if it's over 10 at half time, it's looking like really hard work. Well, we're at 14 right now. Yeah, and that's the thing. They've got to really be looking at less than 10. It's like you can do little runs. You only have to win by 4, win by 5 in each quarter. But by 14, it means you're looking at now winning by almost 10. You win by 7, win by 8, just to take that pressure off that fourth quarter. And they've lost that quarter by 9 points, so they're going to need a really big turnaround in the third to try and get back in it. Well, before the game, I had a chance to have a chat to a couple of the players from either side, just to get their thoughts on the season, today's game, and what is waiting for them in the postseason. Let's have a listen to what they have to say. Kayla Bell, final regular season game, and you're on your home floor. That's a little bit of a special sauce right there, right?
Yeah, definitely love being on the home floor. The crowd's amazing, and it's always fun finishing the season at your home place.
Well, What are your thoughts today? Because we know that Robin Love is out, we know that Bo Kramer are out for Loughborough. That's sort of a dimension, I guess, for you guys. There's something that you might be able to exploit in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're still a really strong team. You've got the likes of Maddie Martin, Lucy Robinson still on the floor, so they've still got a lot of threats on the team. I think we'll just see who we're playing against on the floor and take each offence as it comes and kind of just play our game, and hopefully we can try and get a bit closer, and if not, try and get that win.
Yeah, I guess as George Bates said to me earlier on, the only time they lost this season was when both of those players were out, because obviously they're hauling a lot of points every game. I guess you've got to get a big job done at the defensive end today.
Yeah, I mean, the last few games our defence has kind of kept us in the game. We've been working hard away from the games to work on our offence and our threats, with our shooting percentage, so hopefully that can come into play today. But yeah, our defence lately has been really strong, and it's been what's keeping us in, so hopefully today maybe that can keep us in the game.
When you're comparing this season to last season, very young roster last year, obviously much of that roster still in place, growing in experience, and I think the feeling around was that Worcester have made massive strides in terms of performance this year, despite whatever the league position might be. What are your thoughts around that? Because Simon is very, very keen to have a young programme that can develop into the future.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen developments in some of the players, from last season, and Alana, she was new this season, but her development this season has been incredible, and it's just one season with her. And throughout the season, our defence has been getting stronger, and even though we are bottom of the table, it's very frustrating, but the games that we have played have been quite close. We have been in a game, and it's just been the fourth quarter that has kind of got away from us, but every game's a learning game, and we can always find something to improve on, so hopefully we can finish on the last game of the season today.
And one emotional element we need to talk about today, Sarah Hope, who is a legend of women's wheelchair basketball. Final home game for Worcester for her, and she's been a key linchpin in this organisation for the last couple of years. I guess there must be a bit of buzz around the team about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's so sad. She's done incredible for GB and for Worcester. She's helped set this up, and she's been a great captain to work alongside, and I'm so proud of her. But yeah, I'll be a bit emotional when that final buzzer goes today, so
well, we'll keep an eye out for it. Good luck in the game today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I think we have to talk about that last which we was talking about there with Sarah Hope. I mean, what a career she's had.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's always sad when you lose a beloved team member, when they're retiring, but you've got to look at it in the sense that they've done so much for this sport, and they sort of deserve that bit of a rest, don't they? And like Kayla mentioned there, she was so pivotal in setting up this Worcester Wolves Women's Premier League team, so this mark and her legacy is always going to stick around just by her role in this team in the first couple of years, and how pivotal she has been to this Worcester Wolves team in these last 2 years.
Well, also obviously one of the original architects of this league, and I guess as she was saying there, it's bringing those young players through. It was a very, very young programme last year, with probably the exception of Sarah actually. They made great strides. You look at those two, the game that they won against Cardiff and the one that they didn't win, but it really was a bun fight right down the stretch for that. Even that last game, they only lost by 5.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the whole point of this. Is a big part of it is to get more female players playing at the highest level, getting these young players to come through and competing with some of the other best teams and some of the other best players in women's wheelchair basketball. That it's all you can ask for is you've got to be proud of. You look at maybe they've not had the results that they've wanted, but the performances over these last 2 years have done nothing but improving. Coach Fisher and assistant coach Maka has done a really good job to get the best out of this young team.
Well, I guess we've got to talk a bit about Loughborough then, because George has done an incredible job with the team that he's got. We've talked about the firepower, we know who's missing, we know what they can do and everything else, but nevertheless he's going to be in that locker room having not in the locker room, on the bench having a chat with his team. What's the chat in their huddle? Because obviously he was looking at today also about trying to figure out maybe some new looks for finals weekend.
It's got to be more of the same. You've got to look for Martin had a great first half, Robinson had a great first half expected. For this second half, it's got to be looking to Blease to sort of recreate that form that Martin had. Because if you've then got 3 mid-pointers who are all at the top of their game just before the playoffs, then that's a great position to be in, where if there's an injury, if someone's had a bit of an off game, you can make a change and you don't lose a step. That's a great position to be in. So he's got to be looking at the likes of Blease to sort of come in the second half and have one of those performances that Martin had in the first half, and it just makes them an even stronger team come playoff time.
I've been massively impressed with Maddie Martin in this first half.
Yeah, she's played with a lot more freedom, seems mentally a lot more freedom than she did when the last time Love and Kramer were missing versus Cardiff. It seemed like she was playing a little bit with the world on her shoulders. She knew this was a chance, and she sort of felt like she just was drowned a little bit. But in this one, she's played like an experienced veteran of the game, where she's moving the ball at the right time, she's shooting it at the right times, she's weaving through traffic, she's using her quickness and her strength to her advantage, and really putting a really strong performance in that first half.
Well, talking of experience, they don't come much more experienced than Lindsay Spears, and I had a chance to have a quick catch up with her just before the game this afternoon and get her thoughts as they head into the postseason. Well, Lindsay, you're coming in as regular season champions again this year. It's been a great year for you guys, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season, and like you say, we're really happy to have taken the regular season, and we're still counting this game as very, very important. But it's been a great season for us all together.
And as captain, it must be amazing to lead a group like this. I know you've got a couple of players out, notably Bo and Robin today, but it must be fantastic to have such a deep roster, and you obviously, with all the experience that you've got, being able to lead some of the younger players in. What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, it's a great honour to be game captain, and we've got such a great team captain in Robin, that she's kind of set the standard for what the team does and how we play, and the culture. I just want to do the best I can to lead us to another victory today.
And what do you think the dynamic's going to be? Because obviously with Robin and Bo out, I mean, Bo's just I think a whisker south of 30 points average on the season, and I think if you put Lucy and Robin together, it's a similar kind of number. How's that going to play into the game plan, do you think?
Well, we've got so much talent, and we're really lucky in that way that we've got the programme's built a great team, and we've got a great bench, we've got a great team on the floor, so there's always a lot of options, and it gives the coach some opportunities to try something new, and give some of the newer players as well, younger players, an opportunity to shine. So it's going to be good for us, I think.
But I guess Worcester on their day, they're one of those teams that have the ability to get it over. They've got the ability and the depth to get it over the line, and I guess they may be perhaps looking to exploit those gaps today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any team, they want to look for the weaknesses, and for us it's all about us making sure we get stops on defence and running the offence the way we want, but we don't underestimate Worcester. They're a really good team, it's a great venue, and they always really bring it when they come to play, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
And how are you feeling about the national finals? Big event in a couple of weeks' time. It's just a great fun weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. The whole weekend's great. It's great to be able to showcase women's sport at this level as well at that weekend, so I'm really excited for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we're there.
Best of luck today, and best of luck next week, of course.
Yeah,
2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
That was thoughts of Lindsay Spies coming in this afternoon. Of course, as we said, Lucas, finals weekend next week, obviously WPL and everything else as well. And it's just going to be such a fantastic couple of days.
Yeah, it's some of the best basketball that you can get in this country, so what is more to ask? If you love wheelchair basketball, then that's the best weekend to go to. Everybody wants a ticket, and it's going to be a great weekend to see the 4 women's Premier League teams face off, to see if there can be any change from that regular season standing order. Well, talking of regular seasons and playoffs, of course, your team in Germany, Rhine River Rhinos. I'm struggling to say that, but I'm doing. No, you've got it there. That's right. Yeah. Do my very best. But you've had a great season. 4th in the regular season and semi-final of the playoffs. And I think you said to me before the game, you pretty much parachuted in to pick that team up with virtually no pre-season. Yeah, it was basically within 3 weeks before the start of the season. I had an email, a video call, a list of the team. Do I want it? Yes or no? And it was it was nice to get dropped in the deep end a little bit, because it really, for me, showed me what I can or can't do. If I struggled and drowned a little bit, then that shows maybe I'm not there yet. But I felt like it sort of really developed me into that sort of player and that sort of coach, And playoffs, we played against arguably one of the best teams in the world, the Turinga Bulls, who just lost yesterday to Albacete in the Euro Cup Champions Cup finals. So it was always going to be a tough ask for us, but we performed. We had a lot of bright sparks performance-wise, and took a lot from it, really. Well, we're glad you are here and not there today, because, as we said, legend in his own lifetime, in his own young lifetime. 23 years old. Exactly. That's what I mean. I know. I've been in this game a long time. It makes me feel old. So, nearly ready to get underway. What are we going to see in this third quarter, Lucas? Worcester have got to look at just a quick start within the first 2-3 minutes. If you can get it to 8, that's a really good start to them, and then it's a little bit, then weather the storm, keep it at 8, another little run, weather the storm, just chip away at that lead. You're not going to win a game, no matter the score, in one possession. You're not looking for Hail Marys. You've got to look for the best that you can get, chip away, and hopefully by the end of the third they're going to be in touching distance within 8 or 6 would be a really good position to be in.
Now, Worcester are suddenly going to have to do a big job now at the defensive end with that 14-point deficit, and as we said, coming into half-time, they've got to do something about Lucy Robinson.
Yeah, Lucy Robinson, even when she's not scoring the ball, she's just that presence. She's drawing so much attention from that Wolves defence. Gives so many chances for the likes of Griffiths and White and Martin to attack that paint when there's that extra man, that extra player to attack the paint and get that good shot.
Well, back underway here in Worcester, and it will be Maddie Martin on the inbounds to get us back underway. So, thumbs up from the table, and we are live once again with WPL. However, Anna Blease goes immediately inside to Martin. Foul is called.
Yeah, Martin beat Fraser there, and Fraser got a wheel hooked into a foot plate. Sorry, hooked into the side wheel of Martin.
So, endline ball. Anastasia Blease on the inbounds. See Robinson already in motion. There she is. They get the ball to Robinson. That was a tough shot.
Yeah, that's not really much more. There's almost a hand on the ball there, and she still managed to knock that really tough post up down. So there's not much more you can ask for defensively. Just it's a great finish from Lucy Robinson.
16 the difference. Worcester go cross court to Sarah Hope. Hope not enough on the shot. Really unhappy with herself actually on that one. Her face said it all. Maddie Martin.
Yeah, you live with that type of shot really. The way the shooting percentage has gone on today's game, you don't want Sarah Hope getting inside, so you've got to live with a perimeter shot.
Yeah, and doing a good job on Griffiths in defence, but they go to Martin, too short on that one. Good work from Griffiths, keeps it alive.
Yeah, another offensive rebound as Robinson cuts in, and it's just giving up too many nice looks.
And go inside to Blease, and that is going to send, I think that's going to send Robinson to the line for 2. Didn't see the contact there, but she's Lucy Robinson again, 2 team fouls, and that's the 3rd foul on Ellen Fraser.
Yeah, we're looking now like they really need to secure this defensive rebound. They give up quite a few offensive rebounds, especially a couple on free throws, and they're the sort of looks you can't afford to give up when you're trailing in the game.
Well, Worcester going to need a big box here to collect this one, but it was all for naught. Lucy Robinson strings it from the line. Horan. Inside to Sarah Hope, and
yeah, these are the looks that Worcester need to be looking for, getting Hope inside that key. They're drawing fouls now. They can be a little bit more aggressive to create some nice inside shots, then they're in a really good position.
So Horan to inbound for Worcester. And Griffiths takes a breather. Lindsay Spires checks in for Loughborough Lightning. Quite a belt. Goes to Horan. Great work this afternoon. That's collected by Blease off the ironwork. Anna Blease ships it down to Lucy Robinson. Robinson finds her way round over the top of the defence, just gets that lucky bounce.
I think Worcester might feel a little bit hard done by that. I'm looking down worse right at that halfway line, and that could have been a backcourt violation, but the referee didn't see it, missed it, I don't know, just didn't agree, and then they've given up 2 points at the end because of it.
Open to Fraser high off the window, draws the foul, it's going to go to the line.
Yeah, a lot better last couple of possessions from the Worcester Wolves on offence. They got Hope inside, draw a foul. They got a Horan in a little open shot, couldn't convert unfortunately, but now they've got Fraser inside again, drawing a foul. This is what they need from their offence.
Well, it's a big old mountain they've got to climb now. Fraser sets for the first of her free throws, hits the first one, all string. Couple of team fouls on either side of the board. 7:57 to play in the third quarter. Just rims out for Fraser. Here comes Robinson once again. She's like a menacing presence every time she gets the ball. Pushing foul.
Yeah, Loughborough so good in transition. If you have whoever it is with the ball in the hands, that time it was Robinson. If you have whoever with the ball in the hands at speed, they throw so many picks just to get up the floor and create some good looks.
Blees to inbound for Loughborough.
And Fraser just picked up her fourth foul there on that last possession.
So subs coming then. Fraser will return to the bench. Looks like it's going to be Jade Lachlan who's going to check in. The long range two doesn't go. Horan has it. Here come Wolves in transition. Go to Hope. It's a good pass. Spin from Sarah Hope. Spin and shoot. Just rims out. Sometimes the gods are just not with you.
Yeah, it feels like one of those days for the Worcester Wolves because they're actually creating some decent looks on the basket, but unable to knock them down. It could just be one of those days at the office.
Cling film over the basket.
Yeah, usually only takes one shot to break that, but they've not had such luck today.
Oh, goodness me, what a great finish from Anna Blees.
Yeah, that's what they need from Anna Blees, as we was talking about at half-time, just to get her into a really good bit of form just before the playoffs.
Tough shot in the corner. And everyone getting a run out this afternoon for Loughborough. Neve Horan, meantime, goes across to Fraser. Fraser carrying those 4 fouls, goes to dump it off inside to Yeren, but
there's a lot of confusion amongst the Loughborough defence and also amongst myself because I have no idea what the ref has been looking at there when he's called that. Well, there was nobody was moving. I don't know what he's called.
Holding foul. Perhaps we'll get another look at it, but the referee.
Blees and Martin looked just about as confused as I did.
Well, the call is the call, as they say. And with 6:33 to play, Lightning are leading here 39 points to 19. It's a 20-point ball game. So they need to pull something special out of the bag here. They go to Horan. Horan puts it high up, doesn't go.
Yeah, that was good offence as the defence covered from the middle, and then the person from the opposite side pinched over to defend the middle. It left Horan wide open for the open shot. It was good offence. He got a good look. Unfortunately, it doesn't drop for Horan.
Anna Blees to Martin. Martin now in the corner, ships it inside to White. It was a great pass. White just couldn't make anything of it.
Yeah, when you've got someone the size of Hope pressuring that shot, and you're as little as White is on the court, then it's always going to be a tough finish.
Sarah Hope inside to Yer, and finally they break their duck.
Yeah, that's that pick back that I was talking about, where they're getting that extra man for that extra player for a few possessions, a few seconds of the possession, sorry. Drawing, making the defence move, got an open shot for Yeren.
Martin. Deep cross court into Anna Blees. Goes into Wilson. It's in.
Yeah, that's a good finish there from Lowndes on the cover, went over the cover in Hope. A lovely little pick and roll to get a nice little shot inside the key.
So Worcester needing to string a run together here. Horan, I think a bit of hesitation there as well.
Yeah, they're just in one of those ruts really where nothing, no matter what they try, can really drop consistently.
See the agility of Maddie Martin in offense, just finding tons of space lob inside.
Yeah, that was almost a copy and paste of the previous play. And Martin Lowndes pick and roll, but this time she couldn't convert.
Lowndes with a couple of looks at the bucket. Comes away with no points. Sarah Hope spins for some space. Lachlan cross court to Horan. Horan right at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, that was a good little bit of patient possession. The ball was a little bit stagnant at the time, but it was a nice skip pass to get an open shot for Horan.
So just over halfway through this third quarter. 3 team fouls apiece on the board. 20 points the difference. Blease overcooks the shot. It's time to go to Martin Fitzpatrick at the top. Jess Atherley ready to check in. Offensive foul.
Yeah, offensive foul there on Martin. She crashed into that space that didn't really exist. No control of the chair. Turnover for the Lightning. A Wolves possession.
And Martin and White check out. And, Griffiths and Jess Atherley check back in. So Journey Toes and Jess Dalesville in. Fraser and and Fraser of course carrying 4 fouls.
Yeah, there's a couple of players on foul trouble in this game.
Maddie Martin being one of them.
As well as Griffiths being on 3 himself.
Sarah Hope and 1.
And there's that one I was asking for in the first quarter. It's
There it was.
It's the same player, referee.
Well, that's a 50% average. It's quite good, right?
Getting called right.
You can see it right there as she's there was the
Lowndes.
Marginal, but
Lowndes got a little bit over eager there, trying to play defense and close out on that shot, and foot plates hit Hope as she knocked the ball, knocked the shot down. Sorry.
Hope unable to convert, but she turns it into 4.
Yeah, that's a 4-point possession there. That's really big, really good. Little bit of turn of energy for the Worcester Wolves, and we're just going to be looking at again chipping away. Like if they get it to less than 10, that's a good place to be in.
Well, we'll see where they go with this. Both Robinson and Martin on the bench. Griffiths in space. Got to get a shot away here. Griffiths goes over the top. Maybe this is a chance for Worcester to capitalise and establish a little run.
Yeah, you've got to make a run against a team that's in front of you, and if you can do it with Robinson off the floor, then this is a really good chance for them.
It feels like George Bates just experimenting the rotation a little bit. Bit of a what happens if.
Yeah, you want to be able to trust all your players can play off time, and this is a good chance for some of those players to earn that trust.
Lachlan.
Maybe they've not had as many minutes earlier in the season.
Lachlan unable to convert with that one. Siobhan Fitzpatrick to Lowndes. Please dumps it into Griffiths. Griffiths can't finish. Just a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, good bit of ball movement, and then a good cover defense from Hope, and her size and reach made that shot a really tough finish.
Sarah Hope in motion, can't get it to go. Great from Blease to keep that alive. Atherley, nice and patient, just too much on the shot. Bell has it. So Worcester in transition. Let's see what they can produce from here. 1:54 to play in the quarter. Sarah Hope spins round at the elbow. Shots just off, and Claire Griffiths there for the rebound.
Yeah, they created some really good shots when they were cross-picking and being patient with their offence, moving the ball a little bit and then getting a good look at the end of the shot clock. But by settling for that first shot, it really takes away Worcester's opportunity on offence.
Blease, Lowndes. And a Blease with a long range too. Well, for the sake of a few inches, that could have been a triple.
Yeah, that was actually a great defensive possession there from Worcester Wolves. There's not much more you can ask for, and then when Blease pops up and hits a really, really deep two, then what more can you do? Great shot.
Bell into Hope. And I think Fitzpatrick just got a hand to the ball there. Blease to Lowndes. Lowndes too strong off the glass.
Yeah, so much mobility in this Loughborough Lightning transition that they're just cutting apart this Worcester Wolves defence.
Dalzell's trying to get it done at the offensive end. Kyla Bell, nice patient, good finish from her.
Yeah, lovely pick and roll. Simple, one little pick, drive to the basket, keep the space, lovely little layup.
Please dumps it to Griffiths inside. Griffiths. It seems this time they've moved the cling film, but Siobhan Fitzpatrick is there.
If you're going to give 3 opportunities to a team like Loughborough Lightning, what can you say? There's not really much to say from that. He got the 2 misses and he still couldn't secure the defensive rebound.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, we are at the end of the third quarter. Loughborough Lightning lead 45 points to 27 heading into the fourth and final quarter. They got a mountain to climb.
An Everest-sized mountain, if you ask me. Especially when they're giving up things like 3 possessions in a row. They've 11 offensive rebounds for the Loughborough Lightning, and shooting 42% is not world-beating, but with that many offensive rebounds, you're bound to hit 1 of 3, tip 1 of 2, and that's just, it becomes almost insurmountable.
It's almost double the amount of boards. 44 plays 25 overall in the game, and that shot percentage from the field is what's really punishing Worcester at the moment, struggling to get it up to 30%. 12 from 44 from the field, plays 21 from 50.
Yeah, the way this game's gone, if Wolves could have shot 35, 40%, they could be in this one. It's just struggled, and every team at every level has these days where you do everything right and the shots don't drop. And there's been a lot of times where they've actually got the correct shot, a good shot for the offense, but they've just not been able to knock it down. And it's one of those days, but it's better to have that day now than in 2 weeks' time at the playoffs.
Well, absolutely. We say they can get the job done on their day, and we've seen it done, but it's a big old deficit.
Yeah, and realistically, if you're Coach Fisher, you're not looking at overturning this 18-point deficit. You've got to just be putting things into place, doing the fundamentals right, securing the rebounds, keeping the ball safe, looking for a good performance, no matter the result, play well in the last quarter, and then they can go with some confidence, take some positives from this game into the playoffs, because it can be quite tough playing the strongest team in the league.
Absolutely.
As a last game before playoffs.
Well, the post-season finals weekend is in 2 weeks up in Manchester, and tickets for that are available now. If you just go to British Wheelchair Basketball .co.uk, just double checking that, don't give you the wrong website. Follow the links and you'll be able to buy your finals weekend tickets there. It is an absolute festival if you've never been. So, fourth and final quarter, Hope cross court to Ilana Brand. Ilana Brand, one of the new youngsters coming into this Wolves team this season. Hope fouled.
Yeah, it was a good defensive possession there from the Loughborough Lightning, and a bit of a tough call. Let me start that again. The call came quite late there from the referee, but maybe there was a little hit on the arm that we couldn't quite see from here.
I'll just pick your dentures off the floor for you.
I know. Tell me about
it. Sarah Hope on the line. Silver medal Paralympian. Sarah Hope, her last game on this home floor for Worcester. So out of bounds, and ball recovery detail has been deployed. toes. Goes to Sarah Hope. Jess Dowswell goes to put it high off the window. It was it into the hands of Anna Blees. Blees now into the front court. Blees switches on the afterburners. Said she was going to go all the way there. Dumps it off, and a good finish from Lowndes off the window.
Yeah, that's a lovely little pick and roll there from the Blees Lowndes combination, and finishing through the contact, looking to convert the three-point play.
And Lowndes goes to the line to add the bonus. No good. So Worcester still facing that 20-point deficit. See if they can find their way to base camp on this offense. Sarah Hope, really good look at the basket from Sarah Hope, rattles it in.
Yeah, that was a nice little bit of patience. At least he waited till it was confirmed, had a good look at the basket, and Sarah Hope knocks it down.
Blees is fouled once again. Anna Blees puts her on the line. Worcester, 2 team fouls in the quarter. Jenny Toes with her first foul of the game. String with the first. One to come for Anna Blees. Hits both of them. So Worcester only managing really to stay in touch with the deficit.
Yeah, and that's sort of what you've got to ask for, especially after being outscored, single-digit scoring in your last 2 quarters. You just got to look to keep this distance as it is, and just look to get a good performance in.
Yeah, Worcester got to keep their heads up, maintain that level of energy. Fitzpatrick, Claire Griffiths. Tough pass to the Blees. Blees at the top. It's it down to Lowndes. Deep in the shot clock. Worcester doing a good defensive job there.
Yeah, forcing the really tough perimeter shot, cross body, not the position that Blees wants to be in to shoot that shot.
Dowswell into Hope. And Blees to Fitzpatrick. Blees putting in a bit of a shift this afternoon for Loughborough. Foul on the shot, and 2 from the line. So 9 points so far in the game for Blees this afternoon. Subs coming from both sides. So Fraser and Horan back in. Lowndes and Fitzpatrick taking a breather. Lucy Robinson. Back in for Loughborough. And looks like Kirsty Taylor will join proceedings. Indeed she does.
Yeah, she must be coming in for Blees. As you obviously can't make substitutions for the free throw shooter.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to set out for the rest of the game.
So Jade Loughlin now for Worcester. Over the timeline. Inside to Fraser. Fraser. Ilana Brand. 3-second violation.
Yeah, there's a little bit too long in the key there between Fraser and Brand.
Yeah.
Causing that turnover there. 5
of those for Loughborough in last week's game.
Yeah, they're a really big team, so they rely a lot on dominating the key, and so it's no surprise really that they Loughborough suffer from a lot of 3-second calls.
Griffiths. Martin back in the game. Griffiths goes cross court to Lucy Robinson. Good pass. Find Martin. What a score from Martin.
Yeah, that was a lovely, almost behind the back hook pass there from Robinson, right into the hands of Martin, who knocks it down without hesitation.
That was glorious. That was absolutely glorious. Horan in the key for Wolves, unable to convert. Maddie Martin once again is there. Really showing what she can do in this game, Maddie Martin. Hands off to Griffiths. Robinson. Spears can't finish. Jade Loughlin has it for Worcester. Loughlin into the front court. 5:46 to play in the ball game. Fraser had to stretch for that. Back into Horn. She has a slight advantage over Martin. Ilana Brand finds her 2 points finally. Worcester gets something on the board.
Yeah, great offensive rebound there from Torson. Found the bigger Brand in the middle of the paint, wide open, and she manages to knock it down.
Claire Griffiths into Lucy Robinson.
Good contest on that shot there, right in Robinson's sweet spot on the court, and to get a good contest on her shooting hand really made that shot a difficult one.
Horan into Fraser, good reach from Fraser, hold on to it high off the glass from Fraser.
Yeah, that was a really tough finish from Fraser. She was pretty far under the basket, and the pass came in a little bit late from Horan, but it doesn't matter. Fraser managed to knock it down off the backboard.
And you can see there, right inside, and Fraser, you always need that. You need that little bit of good fortune sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you're under pressure. Sometimes it's a throw and hope, and that one dropped
pressure
in nicely, actually.
And right under the bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
Well. As we said, .54 to play in this ball game. Worcester Wolves on 3 team fouls so far in the quarter. That could prove to be a tough place to be down the stretch.
A little bit of a delay here with the refs talking over with the table.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if it's a shot clock problem or we're looking to whether both teams are playing to points.
So, deep in conference. I think we are going to be back underway. Griffiths on the inbounds for Loughborough. Martin. Robinson. Just rolling back on the shot. Robinson. It's a backcourt violation from Lucy Robinson.
Yeah, miscommunication there between Martin and Robinson. Martin expected Robinson to pop out and receive that ball, but Robinson looked to cut down on the left side. So that was a bit of a miscommunication, threw that pass away.
And that's prompted a timeout from George Bates.
Yeah, just to get a little bit of structure back in. Just because the team are up 19 points doesn't mean you need to stop doing the fundamentals right. This is a time where, if anything, it's more important to do the basics right and still perform, because if you can perform when all the pressure's off, then it means you can at least got a chance to perform when it matters.
Well, they've certainly performed this afternoon. 50 plays 33 in the game, and Loughborough doing what they do, and led, unsurprisingly, by Lucy Robinson. But Maddie Martin putting in a real performance. I think she'd probably be my standout this afternoon.
Yeah, for me it's just the efficiency with which she's played. 11 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 4 rebounds, an assist. And just really, even if she's not making that assist, or she's not looking that shot down, she's that hockey assist, as we call it, where she's passed it to the person who has made that assist. And it's a stat that obviously isn't registered, but it's a really important role because it means you're moving the ball at the right times.
Now, I think she displayed a lot of confidence today. We talked about it coming into the game this afternoon at the top of the show. It's having the confidence to take that shot when you get the opportunity. The old cliche, you miss 100% of the ones you don't take, but she's taken them and she's knocked down some absolute peaches this afternoon.
Yeah, if Martin maybe has struggled today, then maybe this game's a lot closer than it currently is with 4 minutes 28 left on the clock. So that little extra boost from 11 points has really helped this Loughborough team secure this victory so far.
Spears to Griffiths. Griffiths at the top, and there's Martin once again in a bit of space, just sets it up. This time doesn't go.
I feel like that was a commentator's curse from us there. We've just been talking her up and then she missed a good look.
Probably. Martin, great instinctive handoff to Griffiths. Griffiths now catch and shoot from her right at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, it was really good offense, really patient. They couldn't create a look early on, so they didn't rush. They let the shot clock tick down, and they actually got a good shot at the end, and Griffiths just couldn't knock it down.
Lorna Brand is being trapped in the corner, opts for the shot this time, knocks it down, and Lorna Brand. Good shot under all sorts of pressure.
Yeah, she was pinned down in that corner a little bit. Not really any options of moving the ball, or it wasn't getting any clear picks, but she just popped off behind that screen, got that little bit of breathing space just to knock the shot down.
And Taylor, a bit of a technical problem with one of her wheels actually, so I think they're going to sort out. So White has checked in.
Yeah, the problem there with Taylor is where the axle goes into your wheel, it needs, in certain builds and certain designs, it has to be covered with either a cap or some tape.
Yeah.
The referee isn't happy with how much cover that has. As you can see, it's a little bit exposed, and that's just not safe, because if a player falls out, puts the hand out or catches the head on it, that's a sharp object. That's obviously danger.
So taped up. 3:29 to play. Lightning lead 52 to 35, and Fraser is gone with that one.
Yeah,
fouled out of the game.
Yeah, that was a little bit overexcited there. She got Lucy Robinson pinned at the halfway line, trying to force a backcourt, and in trying to force that, she got a little bit excited, made too much contact with the back, and that's her out of the game for the remaining 3 minutes 24.
Well, Loughborough have come here today and they've done a job once again this afternoon, not forgetting that both Robin Love and Bo Kramer out, so they'll be back, of course, come finals weekend, I should say.
Yeah.
Robinson.
I feel like there was some whispers coming into this game that this one could be tight after the result versus Matt Archers without Love and Kramer, but Loughborough Lightning have clearly been working in training, playing without those two, and it's really showed today. They put in a really strong performance.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. You know, Anna Blees on a double this afternoon, 10 points, 18 boards. Said she's put a real shift in for them today.
Yeah, that feels like a quiet 18 rebounds. Yeah. You said that, I was glad to double check the stats.
I said the quiet bit out loud.
Yeah, and then 6 assists as well on top of that is a really strong performance, and plus minus of 18 as well. Yeah. She's done it all across the board. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been Lucy Robinson has been shooting the lights out this afternoon. 19 from her.
Yeah, you can't ask much more from a player like Robinson.
You think that her and Love and Robinson are combining for almost 30 points a game regularly this season. She's had to step in and plug a few gaps, Lucy Robinson, and what a performance from her today.
She's been playmaking in transition now. She's been spending too much time with Robin Love. That's what she's been doing. She's checking that on herself.
Doing it all. She's doing it all. Lachlan for Worcester at the free throw line. So Robinson is there in defence. This time doesn't go, ball is loose, goes into the hands of Lachlan. So 21 on the shot clock. We'll go to Jenny Toes, too high.
Again, if you're coach Fisher of the Worcester Wolves, you look at this game film back and you do video sessions, you think, offensively, we've actually created some good shots. Just when you're missing shots, it feels like the game is getting away from you more than maybe it is, just because you're struggling to score.
Yeah. Maddie Martin, nice spin from Martin. That was a really good pass over to Robinson. Instinctive basketball. She displays such high IQ, Maddie Martin.
Yeah, and is there an opposite of a commentator's curse for Lucy Robinson? Mentioned that little bank shot, that little 45, and she's done nothing but knock it down all game.
All day and all night. You know, you see here, look, I mean, it's really clear. That was just such an instinctive pass and a beautiful finish off the window.
Yeah, as soon as she gets to that 45 elbow, that little bank shot, then defence has to swarm her a little bit, and if they don't, she's going to knock it down.
Yeah. So, Coach Simon Fisher calling a timeout late in the game.
Yeah, his tactical pad and his pen's out. He's drawing some little stuff up. I don't know what he's talking about there, whether he's talking about a little set play they want to run, whether just some stuff in transition, but this is what you've got to do. You've got to make the most of your timeouts in games like this. Minute 46 is not a time to sort of throw in the towel. You're not coming back from 19, but you can still make the most of it. Be productive, run little sets, things like that.
Plenty of possessions to come at 146, right?
Yeah, and there's going to be games where you're within 1 or 2 points of with 146 left, and this is where you can execute those little things and see if you can do it late in game when there's not much time left.
So, with 1 minute and 46 to go, Worcester in the bonus with 5 team fouls. So, nothing to give for Worcester. And whatever Coach Fisher's drawn up, this will all be in the execution. Brand back to Lachlan. Lachlan puts it up. Doesn't go this time. Maddie Martin weaving her way into the key. Foul is called.
Yeah, I think that was possibly an intentional foul from Horan. She saw Lachlan was out, was picked back, and she made that foul to allow Lachlan to get back in and get set as a defensive 5.
That's going to put Martin on the line to shoot 2. Trying a little bit off the clock, 1:25 to play in the ball game. Sarah Hope now coming in to finish the game, her final home game for Worcester. Maddie Martin doesn't make the first of those 2.
Yeah, despite her impressive performance, she struggled a little bit from the free throw line today, which usually if you played well in a game, then free throw shots sort of come naturally. I need to start more often. She's not the second one down.
Well, it's 2 from 5 from the line this afternoon. So Whisker over 33-34%. Jess Dowdeswell, Lachlan, Sarah Hope now. Just too short for Sarah Hope. Robinson, oh, it was a beautiful pass, great play.
Yeah, again, that's just the presence of Robinson just causing the defence to look, to try and stop her early, and then it just leaves Maddie Martin wide open to cut through the defence and score a nice easy level.
Ball watching, right?
Yeah. Threat watching, that's what I call it.
Lachlan to Hope inside the last minute of the game. 39 seconds remain on the game clock. There's only 4 on the shot clock. Sarah Hope needs to get a shot away. Sarah Hope can't get it to go.
Yeah, and that just about sums up the offensive performance from the Worcester Wolves today, where they've really struggled to get anything going, and even when they have got a good look, it's just not drop for them today.
Robinson inside to Martin. Worcester with 5 seconds, trying to get something away. Sarah Hope right on the buzzer, but Not enough on it, and Loughborough Lightning, as we said, Lightning has struck once again in Worcester. 57 points to 35 it has finished here. Well, Lucas, I mean, that was furious in parts, that game, the first half particularly.
Yeah, it was just the Loughborough Lightning came out and flexed the metaphorical muscle, so to speak, in that first half, sort of dictated the offence, scored the ball from wherever they wanted, really showed why there's such a strong team in this league, even without Kramer and Love. And in that first half, it didn't feel completely gone for Wolves. It felt like they had a chance if they just started to string a couple of makes together, but it wasn't to be in that second half. And a really good way to finish for Loughborough Lightning, but a bit of a tough way to finish the season for the Wolves.
So you see there, Sarah Hope. That's let's say last home game for her, and it's been one hell of a career. She's got obviously finals weekend to come.
Yeah, she's just looking forward to that now, and in a way that obviously this is not a great way to end the season, but you've got to look positive. You've got to think you've got a playoffs. It's going to be a really good weekend. And they're going to be in a chance if you have to look, and just all they have to do is string together a good performance, 40 minutes. I know I make it sound so easy, but they've showed in bright sparks that they've definitely got a lot of talent in this team. They just need to put it together over the course of a full game. Yeah,
you see, some of these replays we're seeing now, Worcester managing to find a way to get it done.
Yeah, it's just about doing it consistently, really, which obviously is a lot easier said than it is done.
Yeah. Well, it's been a tough tough game for Worcester, but Loughborough, you've got to say, even with their two key players missing this afternoon, it's been an absolutely phenomenal performance.
Yeah, that was a really good example of game management, really, from that Loughborough team. It could have come in, it could have been a really difficult one, and it could have been really tight, and that's not what you want pre-playoffs. But they came in, they exerted the will a little bit in that first half, and then from there it was sort of just in control of that game, really. And there won't be a better feeling for Coach Bates than 2 weeks before the playoffs, missing two of the strongest players, to still go and put in a comprehensive performance and win by 22.
Yeah, when you look down the stats, this afternoon we said that field goal percentage has been just the story of the game, and and in some games this season must have really, they've really struggled with that. I mean, 25 to 40, as you said, if they could get it up to sort of 30-35%, they'd have been in the hunt really for this one.
Yeah, because 40% isn't a percentage that you're over the moon with. It's okay percentage, and if you play some good defence, you're in with a chance.
Yeah,
but
it depends what's on the other side of the balance sheet.
25%, exactly.
Sure.
It's almost like shooting 70% from the field. When you go up against 25%, it feels almost unstoppable. And they can just hit a few more shots at crucial times just to stop that run. Then maybe this game's a lot closer.
Yeah, and I think standout for me, obviously Lucy Robinson, it goes without saying, at 21 points. If I had to pick a player of the match, well, who'd yours be?
You look at the stats and you think Lucy Robinson, 21 and 9 rebounds, but I would have to go with Maddie Martin in terms of, we always knew Lucy Robinson was going to go and get her points that she's going to get, but Maddie Martin really stepped up after not so many minutes when Love has played and when Kramer has played, but she stepped up in some big minutes and really hit some shots when it mattered today.
Yeah, and I guess it's one of those, isn't it? Where because of perhaps the slight changes in personnel today, getting more minutes, getting opportunities to take those shots that maybe you don't often get a chance to take. And as we said, you've got to take those shots, and it's all about that confidence. And she's just shown a huge amount of maturity on such young shoulders today.
Yeah, definitely. It was and shooting 60% from the field really shows that she chose her moments well. She didn't just shoot up a lot of rubbish. She chose her moments when to shoot the ball, took the right shots, but also move the ball at the right time. And it's something you've got to really be impressed with from such a young player. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to the finals weekend. Of course, Loughborough are going to be taking on East London Phoenix. You know that last weekend, Phoenix obviously with lots and lots of, virtually without a bench. I mean, there's only six players, unfortunately, last weekend for them. But for sure, they had, they've had a great season. Clearly, only 1 point behind. And that, I'm really looking forward to that game next weekend. I think in 2 weeks' time, I think that is going to be probably one of the games of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately for East London Phoenix, they've been sort of decimated with injuries all season, with Amy Conroy being unable to play. They've missed a couple of players from being at Euro Cups, as well as Alice McAfee missing a lot of game with injury. So to still perform the way they have, with missing really two really important players for them, is been really a credit to the players that they've got at the minute. And they seem like they're hitting form right at the right time as well themselves, right before the final.
Yeah.
Yesterday, with a few players, Carrigill, Hamer and Wheeler all scoring, playing well yesterday in the victory they had yesterday.
Yeah, and Worcester obviously going to take on Cardiff in that weekend, so that's one where I think they probably maybe feeling reasonably confident. I mean, beat them by 5, lost by 5. You know, it's been a close run thing between those two teams this season, and you know, on balance, I think it's not really a cigarette paper between them.
Win by 5, lose by 5. Does that mean it's going to overtime then? Is that what that means?
We did do a quadruple overtime here once a long time ago. It was quite interesting. But,
so that was an exciting one to look at, because you think those two teams are pretty well matched as this season has shown. So. You've got to look at it finishing the season on a high, haven't you, and trying to get that win, and that's got to be your focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you know, we talked about Sarah Hope, that being her last game here in Worcester, and that will be her last game. You know, when they get into that post-season. But you know, you can see here when you look at the league table, you know, she'd obviously like to sort of finish with a flourish, as we know. We'll probably hear from her very shortly, hopefully. And but you know, you see Loughborough, they finished here 17 points, you know, 2 points clear of the Phoenix. But actually, I've always been a great believer that come post-season, everybody finds a way to find another gear.
Yeah, anything can happen in come playoff time, and when you've got players as talented as all of these teams, then they're in a really good position to step it up when playoffs come.
Yeah. So really, not a huge amount separating them all. The win-loss column being, you know, what it is. But for sure, there are going to be some fireworks in Manchester in a couple of weeks' time, and what a great weekend that is going to be. But I think we can hear probably from Sarah Hope, if I'm not very much mistaken. So let's get her thoughts after her last home game of the season. And I'll be ready in just a moment, Sarah Hope. Just so 57-35 in Worcester. It has finished, and as we said, Sarah Hope, it's been her last home game. Silver medal Paralympian, and one of the great stalwarts of women's wheelchair basketball in the UK, helped to set up this programme. In fact, Simon Fisher said she'd want to remain involved for next season somehow, being local. So we'd hope that's the case. But we're going to go over and have a quick chat with Sarah Hope post-match. Let's get her thoughts on what's going to happen going forward.
You know, playing against Lightning is always tough. You know, they're a very competitive, very talented team, and unfortunately today we just didn't match that.
And the Worcester home crowd has been fantastic this season. How much has their support meant to you this year?
Oh, it's great. I mean, there's nothing quite like playing in your home court, being in your own surroundings, and you see the same die-hard fans in the crowd every time. You get to know them, and just hearing their support. It goes a really long way, and I think the fact that I think we're more likely to win when we're at home just goes to show.
Perfect. And 2 years as the captain of Wolves. See you at National Champs.
Yeah, exactly. One last one to go.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Well, the thoughts of Sarah Hope there, and she's a player who wears her heart on her sleeve, isn't she?
Yeah, she seemed like it's like a little bit of a bittersweet pill to swallow there in terms of the last game at home, but obviously I imagine she's looking forward to retirement as well, and it's one of those tough things where you've got to enjoy it while you can and look forward to the next step of your life and things like that, especially when you retire.
Yeah, but she wants to stay involved in the programme here. Simon Fisher was saying that it's not a question of goodbye forever. Obviously she's a local here as well, and although her playing career, she may be calling time on that. Obviously she's sort of been there, seen it all, done it all, worn the t-shirt, got a cabinet full of medals and trophies. For sure, there's going to be plenty for her to do here in this programme and in the game more broadly.
Yeah, I always tell people once you're in wheelchair basketball, you never get out of it, and that's sort of the example there. That even when she's stopping playing, she still wants to stick around and stay involved. And
no one leaves here alive.
It's such a tight knit community that people, it's like you can't get out of it whether you want to or not.
Well, we'll see. Well, we were saying, in the game this afternoon, the standout players, obviously our standout being, I think we both agreed that Maddie Martin was absolutely the standout. But, what can you say, Lucy Robinson? I mean, what a performance from her, having to step into multiple roles.
Yeah, she just sort of did what was needed to her and did that multiple role of being that perimeter threat at the times, like on those little fadeaway shots, as well as moving the ball, dominating the key.
Yeah. And a huge haul of points for her again today, 21. I mean, it's no mean number, right?
Yeah, it's like in a game that you win by 22, 21 is a huge performance, because if she even just scores 10 or 15, this game looks completely different. Yeah,
and maybe anybody looking at that for finals week is going to be, taking a big intake of breath, because Bo Kramer back, and of course Robin Love and Lucy Robinson. That is a big steep hill to climb.
Yeah, it's a bit of a daunting task for any team, but you have to just look at it, and any team is only human. So come playoffs, anything can happen. Either players have off days or other players play really well, and it can really cause some big performances.
So let's hear from Lucy Robinson after this victory in her 21-point haul here in Worcester this afternoon.
Great. Hi Lucy. Last game of the regular season for you. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, great game, great performance all round. I think it showed a lot of hard effort from everyone, and it was massive teamwork.
Yeah, that was evident. Next up, the final. You'll be heading in as defending champions this year. How will you and your team be preparing for that one?
I think just training hard. We've got a couple of weeks left till the playoffs. Training hard, working on everything that we do really well, like our passes, executing things in training, and then just pushing hard in training makes us play so much better in games because we're used to the intensity. But I think it really shows that no matter who we have on the day that turns up, we can still win.
Great performance today, Lucy. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Well, Lucy Robinson there, and a great afternoon from Lucy Robinson. Well, it's finished here 57-35. Loughborough Lightning taking down the hometown Worcester Wolves during their last home game of the regular season. Lucas, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Always nice to have a leg end sat next to you. It's very, very important. Makes it all so much easier.
Oh, you're also flattering.
From Juliana Mount and from Lucas Warburton here in Worcester, we'll see you again soon. Whatever you do, take care and bye for now.